Good evening. Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for tonight. We thank you for the gift of today. It says in your word, today is the day that you have made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Lord, we lift up our city, the things that are going on in our city. We pray for Halloween and the safety of our children running around in the streets and having a good time. And Lord, we pray a special blessing on Councilman Lloyd and his wife Kate in the final days of her pregnancy. Lord, we pray for her health and a safe, healthy delivery as they celebrate a new baby on the way. We just thank you for the gift of life. And we just ask all this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Michael, if you'll take the roll, please.
Councilman Marcos.
Here.
Councilman Blevins.
Here.
Councilman Schlatt.
Present.
Councilman Valerius.
Here.
Councilman Lloyd.
Here.
Pro Tem Lally. And Mayor McLeod.
Here.
We have a quorum, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Schlack,
Support.
supported by Mr. Marcos. Any changes or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. I have a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting of October 11th. Motion by Mr. Lally,
Support.
supported by Mr. Marcos. Any corrections? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion has carried. First order of business tonight is several proclamations. The first being a proclamation for the National Native American Heritage Month. Whereas the history and culture of our great nation has been significantly influenced by Native Americans and indigenous peoples, and whereas the contributions of Native Americans have enhanced the freedom, prosperity, and greatness of Americans today, and whereas their customs and traditions are respected and celebrated as part of a rich legacy throughout the United States, and whereas Native American Awareness Week began in 1976, and recognition was expanded by Congress and approved by President George Bush in August 1990, designating the month of November as National Native American Heritage Month. And whereas in honor of National Native American Heritage Month, community celebrations, as well as numerous cultural, artistic, educational, and historical activities have been planned. Now therefore I, Gail B. McLeod, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Allen Park, Michigan, do hereby proclaim November 2022 as National Native American Heritage Month in the city of Allen Park, and urge all citizens to observe this month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Allen Park, Michigan be affixed this 25th day of October 2022. I might add that this comes to us from the Daughters of the American Revolution. And if you would care to go to their website, there is a great deal of information there. And for any individual who happens to be Native American heritage, there are scholarships and grants available to those individuals. So I encourage you to check out that website. Our second proclamation is celebratory. It is a proclamation recognizing St. Luke's Episcopal Church 75-year anniversary. Whereas St. Luke's Episcopal Church is celebrating its 75th anniversary during 2022, and whereas an Episcopal church in Allen Park was the dream of Hazel McLeod and Hilda Balls, who met in 1946-47 while grocery shopping. And whereas this resulted in a series of meetings which led to an organizational meeting at the old Lapham School on October 15, 1947. And whereas it was decided that St. Luke would be their patron saint, and the name for the new mission since St. Luke's Day was October 18. And whereas services started in 1948 in Sudman School, moving to St. Basil's in the basement on Niver, then to the new Lapham School, then to Arno School, where they remained until property was purchased. And whereas a groundbreaking ceremony took place on June 3, 1952, and they moved into their new church on February 22, 1953, classrooms were added in 1954, and a rectory completed and dedicated on St. Luke's Day in 1963. And whereas Reverend Mitch Udaz, who became the priest in charge in July 2019, and in July 2022 accepted the position of rector to the parish, and whereas Reverend Mitch Udaz continues to lead, grow, and strengthen the congregation, which has experienced many changes in its 75 years, now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Mayor Gail McLeod, on behalf of the City of Allen Park and all of its elected officials, do hereby recognize and congratulate St. Luke's for their 75 years of serving our community. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Allen Park, Michigan to be affixed this 25th day of October, 2022. And we have with us, I believe, Reverend Udaz and Carol Metz, who is the, refresh my memory.
Senior warden.
Senior warden. Our next order of business is the city administrator's report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council residents. I want to just give a couple brief updates here. Hard Rock Concrete has finished pouring the concrete on the south side of Philomene Boulevard from Park Avenue to Cowell. Their subcontractor will be starting the restoration in that area soon. For concrete sectioning, Savone Cement has finished the reconstruction of White Avenue by the community center. They are going to be working on some sidewalks on both the parking lot side and the community center side over the next few days as well. Then they will be starting the reconstruction of the alley behind the American Legion next week. That's the schedule for that one. PSC will be starting the restoration of Winona Avenue. That is part of the water main replacement project, and they should be finished here hopefully before snow falls, which I hope is not very soon.
Why are you staring at me?
The Arno Avenue paving, Al's Asphalt, they're on site now. They started the preliminary work to pave Arno Avenue from Beatrice Avenue to Warwick. That should take another 2 to 3 weeks. The library electronic sign is scheduled to be installed on Friday, so it'd be nice to see that. I know Sandy's very excited about that project. Shred Day was this past Saturday. Although we did have a bit of an issue to start, about 35-minute delay, everything was very successful. We did have a lot of requests for a second event in the spring, so we'll look into that. The only issue we had is I nearly got ran over by a lady that was a Michigan State fan. I have no idea how that happens. Maybe with my Michigan stuff, I don't know. There was a lot of Go Blue going that day, though. It was definitely there. So, we had some issues with the truck. There was a delay in the truck getting there because of some mechanical issues. But we did make it through everybody that was there, and those that wanted to leave their stuff, which kind of concerns me a little bit because it is a secured shred, left it in a pile for me to help take care of later on. And there was very trustworthy people that I would take care of that stuff, so, which we did. We certainly did. The Kennedy Park Recreational Hill project has started. That project will create a sled hill for winter use and training hill for summer running and exercising. And want to congratulate the City of Allen Park. Would like to congratulate Allen Park Fire Department Lieutenant Jeffrey Hatta for graduating from the Eastern Michigan University School of Fire Staff and Command Executive Leadership Program, and to Allen Park Police Department Sergeants Eli. Every time I read that, I see something different. Eli Fatilia and Stephen Seagrass for graduating from the Eastern Michigan University School of Police Staff and Command Executive Leadership Program. I had an opportunity to be at that graduation on Friday night. I know Chief, you were there with, Chief Cam was there with Lieutenant Hatta a couple weeks earlier. It is a great event. It's a very, very time-consuming program. It's 360 hours over a 9-month period. And they go over all kinds of stuff, top to bottom of what it's going to take to be a leader in the professions that they are, police or fire. So congratulations to all three of those gentlemen for a lot of hard work put in. And also congratulations to their families, because it is a very intensive program that families have to be involved with as well. I know we said something last week, but I want to also thank the Smiths again for their gratitude to the city of Allen Park. They were over this past week, I think it was last week, for the fire department. I think they've got everybody covered now, and we do certainly appreciate your appreciation of our departments in that. So we want to say thank you publicly as well. Just not on the item that I put there, but we talked a little bit about it in the back. The Historical Museum is coming along nicely. That project is a CDBG block grant program grant that we received, a total of $304,000. They'll strip the paint off of that, the house or the museum. They are going to, they've already taken the porch off the, as you're looking at the house on the left-hand side, they've taken the awning off the right-hand side. They'll be reconstructing some new porch covers on those two porches, some new doors, painting on the inside, paint the trim, fix the wood trim, new corbels. It's going to look really nice. Just a lot of work going into it. And it's definitely, I think it's definitely caught the attention of a lot of people driving down Park Avenue right now. So very happy to see that project finally moving along.
May I have a motion to accept and file the administrator's report?
Motion.
Got,
Second.
I had motion from Mr. Levin, and,
I didn't say.
okay, I had two coming from, okay, and a second, okay, motion by Mr. Lloyd, second, no, we'll get this right. Motion by Mr. Lally, second by Mr. Lloyd.
There we go.
We're good. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We now come to public comments. Anyone wishing to come up and speak may do so. You are limited to 4 minutes, and all we ask is that you provide your name and the street on which you live. We do not want to have the exact address. And just be cordial. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Lanita Martin from Blessed Financials. I actually live on Outer Drive, and I just wanted to come and say thank you. Wow, it's been almost 2 months. But in the beginning of September, we did a backpack giveaway, and we were able to give away over 100 backpacks. We had people from Riverview, we had people from Wyandotte, we had people from River Rouge. We served a large capacity of individuals, and I'm just so appreciative. Like, this is a great city to live in. I literally planned this event in 72 hours, and the police department said, "What did you need?" on Labor Day weekend. So I'm super excited about that. We have been asked cordially to adopt 20 families from the Allen Park schools for the holidays. So any direction or any guidance you can make on that, because it's a big task. We know that times are definitely different right now economically, and we don't want to just give. We want to give in a way that is going to be impactful. So any guidance or any leadership you guys can give on making this a great success in December would be super appreciated. Thank you to Mr. Kirby for the amazing connection he's made with Wayne Metro. We've been able to actually help a lot of the individuals we see here who are homeless get into a program where they could be waitlisted into shelters and then potentially move to temporary housing and then permanent housing. So I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited about this partnership. And I'm just super excited to be doing the work in the community I live in. So thank you guys so much.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you. If there's no one else coming forward, we will close the public comments portion and move on to the consent agenda, which consists today of claims and accounts and the payroll report. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Marcos, second
Second.
by Mr. Valerius. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolutions. Resolution 1 is to waive the city bid process. as there is no economic benefit, to rebid the street sectioning program contract and utility repair program contract, and authorize the city to accept the offer from Savone Cement to extend their 2022 contract pricing to the 2023 construction season. May I have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Lally,
Second.
second by Mr. Lloyd. Comments or questions? We'll have,
Yeah,
give it
just to-
explain.
Real quickly, just an offer from Mario Savone Cement to extend that contract for another year. That would be for street sectioning and for utility repair. We've had him doing these two projects for us since 2018. Extremely satisfied with the work. That's in his areas that he's working on. We don't get very many complaints regarding anything, and if we do, he addresses them right away and satisfactory to the residents. We've not had any concerns on that. Definitely will save costs and not having to go to bid. That's where the benefit is for the city and holding those prices. Now, this, again, as we did with the, I think it was Brico at the last meeting, labor's all there, materials are still the question. I think there's a concern over concrete and a possible shortage, so that would only be the affected area.
Comments or questions?
I do want to say that these, Savone has done a great job. They just did my area over by where I live, the street, Buckingham Court. They took care of the sign that was destroyed by a driver, the brick wall, which was obstructing a lot of view of traffic trying to pull out of the subdivision. It's now clear, you can see. They did a great job fixing that up, and I know the work they do is outstanding, so I'm with them.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, resolution is carried. Resolution 2 is to approve the police department to accept a grant award for supporting law enforcement agencies in seeking accreditation. Community Policing Development solicitation in the amount of $213,075.47 with no local match. Motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Valerius, seconded by Mr. Lally.
Not too sure I can add much more to this one. It's a great grant opportunity that we've been presented here from the U.S. Department of Justice Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services, the COPS office. COPS office has been around for probably 30 years now, and usually they offer assistance for hiring police officers over a period of time. This one here is actually one that I think has become a really a top item that we communities are looking to achieve, and that's accreditation for the police departments. They go through and make sure that they're meeting all the regular standards and the protocols and everything are in place properly. So a nice addition here. $213,000 with no match is a great grant award.
Any comments or questions?
Yeah, Mayor,
Yes.
I would just want to thank you, Bill Mann, for making this happen, the grant happen. Just want to say thank you to him.
That's Lieutenant Mihal retired back in July, and so he's working with us on a part-time basis, and he'll be overseeing this grant for the city of Bill Mihal.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. We have Resolution 3, which is to approve the city administrator to submit a grant application to the Canadian National Rail ECHO Connections from the Ground Up program for the Brand Park Vietnam Veterans Memorial and beyond, and the Champaign Park Blue Star Memorial, with a 50% match coming from various city accounts and donations. May I have a motion, please?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Lally, second by Mr. Lloyd.
Valerius.
I'm sorry. Mr. Lloyd's lips were moving, and
Valerius.
that was Mr. Lally and Mr. Valerius.
Through the chair, and this
Yes.
this grant application here, just the city has an opportunity to apply for this grant through the Canadian National Railroad, because the railroad does go through the city, sometimes causing a major inconvenience at Champaign and on Pelham. here's our possible thank you for that inconvenience, or apology for that inconvenience. Grant opportunity here is for $25,000 that can be matched with in-kind contribution like volunteer labor and obviously cash contributions as well. They will not pay for any hardscape, so this is strictly, they only pay for the softscape, the landscaping items, the plant material, mulch, dirt, site preparation. They won't pay for the concrete walkways, any brick walls, flagpoles, park benches. They don't pay for any of that, but that can be used towards the match. When we started looking at this project, this was when I talked to Rob about when he took over, that we knew the Vietnam Memorial, Vietnam Veterans Memorial and Beyond project was in the process of being started at Brand Park, and 7 flagpoles had been installed to this point, but there was not much else that we had to work off of other than the fundraisers, and it goes back to the fundraisers that Councilman, or Mayor Pro Tem Lally was working on with the Elks Club and things like that. So we were able to sit down with the group, come up with some ideas with Rob and the team. One of the things that we came up with is there's some sidewalk that needs to go around to connect around College Avenue, cul-de-sac. Those funds can be used as the match. So then we started looking at Champaign as well. And when you go by Champaign, if you even know it's there, it's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. It's overgrown. There's a memorial there. It's 85 feet off the corner. You won't be able to see it very well because it is overgrown with the shrubbery. So to me and Rob and then the group that we have here from the council, which is Councilman Mayor Pro Tem Lally, Councilman Blevins, Councilman Valerius, it didn't make sense to not address a existing Veterans Memorial before we address the new one. So what we're looking to do here is apply for this grant. 60% of the application, 60% of the funds that would be received would go towards the Champaign Park Memorial, 40% towards the Brand Park. And if you forgive my drawing skills are not nearly what they were many years ago. But we did some design work and trying to come up with a plan that we think would be suitable there, and kind of move forward with that.
Does anyone have any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution 4 is to waive the city bid process as there is no economic benefit since a sole provider, and award the playground upgrade for Gingerbread Park to Game Time for both the equipment and safety surfacing for a total cost of $115,009.96, with $110,000 from account 401-00985-0004 from the IGA for the Wayne County Park Millage Funds that combines both the 2020 and 2021 allotment and the 2021-22 allotment, and $5,009.96 from account 101. Motion, please.
Motion, Mayor.
Motion
Support.
by Mr. Schlack, supported by Mr. Blevins.
Good evening. You're up, Mark.
I have the director of things. I'm trying to get somebody else to talk.
I thought you were trying to land a plane.
Yeah, I know. Nobody was coming up there. I was paying attention.
Some flash.
I'll go ahead and let Rob fill us in on this project.
Well, it's really just long overdue. The project's been 2 years. Gingerbread needs some tender, loving care, some TLC up there. We've tried to continually add mulch, spray paint, park benches needing to be removed, just for safety, a lot of safety purposes. So this thing has been, it's a 2-year project. We've taken the millage reimbursement money and moved it 2 years. So we've combined the 2 years. So this is a spring project of '23. We have been in touch with Game Time. As soon as, if you're gonna approve the purchase tonight, we can put that in a motion tomorrow, pending the fact that the equipment that we choose is still available. But for the most part, we feel like we've got the right stuff. It will be the same tiles that you've seen at Humpty Dumpty, the safety tiles. The good news on that tile situation is we've got already half of those tiles on site. So the savings has become even better because I would say 75% of the purchase of any park equipment is in the ground, whether that's cement as well as the tiles. But the bulk of that is the tiles for sure. If you get a chance, Humpty Dumpty, it's probably 2 years old now, I believe. You can't even tell that. You can't even tell that it's worn. So this is the same process that we're gonna put in over there, so.
So we had this at Humpty Dumpty,
Briar Rabbit, Mirrors Briar Rabbit most recently.
and Kennedy Park as well.
Yes, the new addition at Kennedy Park. Yep, good memory.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any comments or questions?
Just a how many of the parks are left to be re-added?
3. Well, including the 4th that you'll vote on tonight, but yeah, 3 after that.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. They're looking good.
Good.
Thank you, Robert.
Yes, sir.
Let me go back, Councilmember, those other parks do not have the tile, the only 3 have the tile, and this will be the 4th one for the tile.
Right. But 3 remaining to have renovation. You're welcome.
There's no further questions. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution 5 is to approve the contract with Fishbeck Engineering Services to design the rehabilitation of the M39 Service Drive Bridge in the amount of $68,000. Motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Marcos. Second by Mr. Lally. Mr. Murray.
Hi, good evening. So I'll give you a little rundown on this one. The next one will be pretty similar. This is a grant we went through the state of Michigan, and the council approved to send in for the grant with a local match of 5% for this one, and we have to take care of, the local takes care of all engineering services. So this is the portion of the design for the engineering services for M39. It's a service drive bridge. That pretty much answers that. Fishbeck also is subbed through Charles Rains, who is our main engineering service. So that's why we have a sub of Fishbeck.
And that is the service drive.
It's on the service drive by Euclid. There's a
That
daycare.
Presbyterian Church, that area?
Presbyterian Church.
By
By
the daycare center.
the daycare center
Okay.
more. You're thinking there's a Lutheran church, Mount Hope. It's just before it.
Anyone have any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Resolution 5 is to approve the contract with Fishbeck Engineering Services to design the rehabilitation of the Reek Road Bridge in the amount of $105,000. Motion.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Marcos, second by Mr. Valerius. One to the right, one to the left. My eyes only go in one direction. Mr. Murray.
So this is the same as the other one, except for the price is different. This one is more of a, close to a total reconstruct. It's $1 million grant award we got for this one, so therefore there's a lot more design, hence the cost difference from the other one.
We all know where the Reek Road Bridge is.
I'm sorry?
We all know
Oh,
where the
yes.
Reek Road Bridge is.
So that bridge is gonna be like the one in Goddard Road or Moran Road.
We're gonna send Tony to oversee the work.
He can answer to all the people that are gonna be happy that it's closed in 2024 also.
Are there any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, thank you. Now we move on to other business and ask for a motion for the third reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance number 6.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Blevins, supported by Mr. Schlack. All in favor? Are there any discussion, questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You'll have the third reading.
Good evening. Third reading by title only of ordinance number 06-2022, an ordinance of the City of Allen Park, Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 52 zoning, Article 1 in general by the repeal and readoption of Section 52-1 definitions to add the term smoke shops and tobacco stores, and by the repeal and readoption of Sections 52-437, parenthesis 5, and 52-474, parenthesis 3, to add smoke shops and tobacco shops to regional shopping districts C-6A and C-6B. Thank you.
And now we will open the public hearing portion. Anyone wishing to come up and speak on this ordinance is free to do so at this point. Seeing that no one is coming forward, we will close the public hearing, and I will ask for a motion to adopt ordinance number 6-2022.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lally,
Second.
second by Mr. Lloyd. We will ask for a roll call vote.
All right, Madam Mayor, I have a motion by Pro Tem Lally, supported by Councilman Lloyd, to adopt ordinance number 6-2022, an ordinance of the City of Allen Park Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 52 zoning, Article 1 in general by the repeal and readoption of Section 52-1, excuse me, definitions to add the terms smoke shops and tobacco stores, and by the repeal and readoption of Section 52-437, subsection 5, and 52-474, subsection 3, to add smoke shops and tobacco stores to regional shopping districts, C6A, C6B. Shall this ordinance pass? Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally?
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Councilman Marcos?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
And Councilman Valerius?
Yes.
The yeses have it. The ordinance is successful, and it shall be advertised in the manner prescribed by law. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll come to council comments, and this evening we will start with Councilman Lloyd.
Okay. Last council meeting, I spoke about the charter amendment that is on the ballot coming up in 2 weeks from today, if I'm not mistaken, November 8th. Again, I just want to emphasize the importance to vote and to be informed on everything that's on that ballot. This being a midterm election year, there's a number of things on there from House of Representatives to state rep to governor, but we also have a number of things, or at least one major number of things here in the City of Allen Park. So the school board election for the Allen Park Public School District, and a charter amendment. So what that charter amendment will do is it will take the current treasury job that is in the charter as being an elected official, and it will make it so that it is an appointed position. So that it'd be similar to our department heads. It's somebody that would be appointed by mayor, approved by council, and would therefore be under the authority and the direction of council. There's a couple reasons why we think that this is important. This is something that started out with the Legal Affairs Commission, and we talked about it. We worked on it a great deal. One thing is that our city treasurer, Maureen Armstrong, who has been the city treasurer for a very long time, a number of years, is not running again. And she has a great deal of knowledge, expertise, and we have been very fortunate to have her. However, there is no guarantee that somebody of her knowledge or expertise will gain that job the following fall if we do not make this an appointed position. So by doing this is going to take a job of the city council job of the city that is absolutely vital collecting taxes, sending out those notices, and we'll put that under the authority of the city itself to be able to give that job to someone that we believe is going to be able to fulfill it. A couple people have brought up the idea of oversight, the issue of oversight into that. So their fear is that if that's no longer an elected official, that person will not have that oversight ability. But the people up here are the primary oversight for the city of Allen Park. There's not a meeting that goes by that Councilman Marcos does not ask a question about claims and accounts, and he is very thorough about that. And our finance director, Ms. Wirtz, is also equally thorough. So I think that this is something that's important for the city. I think that it'll help our city run more efficiently. And more importantly, if you don't know, ask. If you're curious about something, I was very proud of my nephew. It was his first time voting. He was voting absentee, and he called me up to ask me about a proposition. He didn't ask me how to vote on it. He just asked me to explain it. And so ask somebody, research it, find out. If you don't know, either research it or don't fill it out. You don't have to fill out everything on there. Don't fill out the guys with the funny names. All right, that's important. All right, or the person that, as Mayor McLeod, is the one that sounds familiar. So if you don't know, find out, research. But if you can't do that, then it's better to leave it blank. So again, if anybody has any questions, I would ask that you would ask somebody. I would be happy to speak to anybody about it. And with that, I yield.
Thank you. Mr. Valerius.
Just a couple things. First, foremost, I want to offer my congratulations to Jeffrey Hatta, is that correct? And also Sergeants Segrest and Fatilia on their successful passing of the fire and staff, and also the police staff and command classes at Eastern Michigan. As City Administrator Kibbe said, a lot of hours and sacrifice made to better each of their individual departments, so congratulations on that. Last night I had the opportunity to attend a Parks and Rec meeting. A lot of great things going on in Parks and Rec. I just want to extend my thanks to Rob Fulton and Kyle Carr, and everyone at Parks and Rec for all their hard work. It was a lengthy meeting, but they provided so much information about all the great things that are happening, not only at the community center, from the programs that that they're getting rolling, already thinking about the basketball programs and stuff like that, but also all the ice time, booking ice time. Kyle Carr brought up an awesome idea that they kind of threw out there about selling advertising on the boards around the arena. Just, things like that, little things that raise money, and also advertising for local Allen Park businesses. So, to go back to Savone Cement and all they're doing for the city, they're going to be, Kyle let us know that they're going to be wrapping the Zamboni as well. So it'll be kind of cool to have a customized Zamboni vinyl wrapped with someone who does a lot of work for the city of Allen Park, and put it on par with the other arenas around the Metro Detroit area. So last thing I wanted to just kind of ask for some prayers. A good friend of mine that I've known for almost 40 years, Joseph De La Rosa, passed away on Saturday after a 3.5-year fight with cancer. He was 59 years old, way too young. Was, like I said, a lifelong friend of mine. Leaves behind his wife Kelly and son Connor, who also happens to be my godson, and a sister Renee. So, I know we've been talking about cancer awareness and everything else. I know it affects a tremendous amount of people, but I just ask for prayers, not only for my friend Joe, but everyone who's lost someone to cancer or is currently fighting that battle themselves, or family members that are fighting alongside those that are suffering from cancer as well. And with that, I yield. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Mr. Schlack.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, one of the best ways you know life isn't bad is when a lot is going on. Until we meet again, we're going to have a lot going on between here and now. But I want to start by saying I had the good fortune of attending last week the Michigan Municipal League Conference I have annually. And it's a conference that is filled with elected officials and other experts that really give insight to how we can work together to as a state and as a municipality to share and learn new ways. So that was really exciting to attend that. I want to shout out to my alma mater, Michigan State, as they played the Wolverines this weekend. It's rivalry week, so that's always an exciting week, especially to our city administrator, or Mike Ty, support of that. Proud of it. So go green. I want to wish everyone a very happy and safe Halloween. Definitely look forward to it. It looks like the weather is going to look good. Last I checked, in a way, not rainy for the first time in forever. Probably jinxed us all now. And I want to ask you to remember that enduring change happens one step at a time. Your vote is your voice. So I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but get out and vote. Elections matter, and our elections are secure. And finally, to my federal veterans, before we meet again, will be Veterans Day. So thank you for remember that our oath that we swore to protect against enemies foreign and domestic. So it's important to remember that. And with that, Mayor, I yield. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Blevins.
So, a good idea. I was just thinking, how we quickly do motion support. Maybe we should do like Jeopardy with the little, so it flashes of who said it first or second, but just another idea. Yes, Halloween's coming up. It's getting darker. Daylight savings time's coming as well. So please make sure that you watch when you're driving it, again, 4, 5 in the afternoon, because it gets dark out. So, because kids are riding their bikes, residents, and walking around these nice nights we've been having. So please be cautious. Like Mr. Schleck said, Veterans Day coming up. Make sure around 5 o'clock up on the hill, they have their Veterans Day ceremony right up where the Starbucks around that memorial. On Veterans Day, the 11th, 5 p.m. Speaking of green and white, the Jags, I saw that they're going to the playoffs, so good luck to them. And then good job to the Cabrini football as well. Again, blue and gold, Michigan playing this week as well. So make sure, keep supporting our high schoolers with their sport teams, our wonderful businesses, local businesses, keep supporting them. The pumpkin patch on Halloween night as well at the Elks Club area. With the Historical Museum, if you drive by, again, it is looking fantastic of the improvements. There will be another meeting before, but November 18th, 6 o'clock, we have our Lighted Christmas Parade, so just keep that on the calendar as well. It's on Park Avenue, so a lot of things happening in good old Allen Park, so please make sure you keep supporting everything. Again, make sure you go out and vote. And with the city proposal, pretty much how I think of it, either you want us to appoint a treasurer, or do you want to just keep voting a treasurer like how it's been? That's how I look at it. But again, I'm not here to tell you how to vote or anything, but just make sure you go out and have your voice heard. Other than that, just keep staying positive and stay optimistic. Again, you don't know what everyone's going through in their personal lives, and just be respectful for everyone. And with that, I yield.
Thank you. Mr. Marcos.
Rarely get to the bottom of the list and you can talk about something that hasn't been spoken about already. So, I'm going to start with Friday, October 28th, 5 to 7 at the Farmers Market. They have the trunk or treat from the city and the DDA for the kids and whoever else. And then also on Friday, I'm sorry, did I mention it was from 5 to 7? 5 to 7 at the Farmers Market on Harrison. I'm sorry, it's on Park Avenue, between Harrison and Cleveland. And then on Friday also, from 7 to 10, you can go on over to the Elks Club, and they're having a pumpkin patch party, which somebody did mention, but I'll go a little more detail. It's got a band, you gotta have food, stuff, drinks, and no cover, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So it's the Elks Club, they need support. They work for disabled children, disabled veterans. They're strictly an organization that works for the betterment of the community. And also, let's see, the Elks Club again. So we got the Elks Club again. I'm trying to remember to get them all. Sorry. Monday, October 31st, Halloween night from 6 to 9. Annual pumpkin patch. Second time around for that one. But hey, can't get them all. Other than that, I want to thank everyone for coming. I invite everyone else in the city to please stop by, come to our meetings. Really appreciate it when you come by. We can always use your input. Thank you all for coming, and good night.
Thank you. Mr. Lally.
Well, it's nice to be last. Everything is already said. I do want to thank again Bill Mehall. I said it right this time. And for getting a grant for the police department. Congratulations to the fire department and his two guys that graduated from what's his name? Jeffrey Hada. I do want to personally thank Mark Kibbe and Robert Fulton for the Vietnam Memorial and beyond. We had a great first meeting, and I mean first meeting. This is the first. This is the beginning until we get it done. And I say it again, whether I'm up here or not, it's going to get done. And we're going to get done. It's coming along pretty good. I want to thank you very much, Mark, for doing a heck of a job to see if we could get some money from CNN Railroad. Don't forget to vote, like everybody else said. Your vote counts. We got a steak cookout tomorrow night at the KFC. I didn't forget this time, Charlie. So make sure you come down and enjoy a nice steak. This is the last one of the year. Other than that, I want to thank you for everybody who came here today. Good night and God bless.
Thank you. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, November 8th is the general election, and I just want to let everybody know who watches this within the next week that there is time to get an absentee ballot, and we will be open, the clerk's office will be open the Saturday before the election from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for last-minute people who think they might be going out of town or too busy to come vote. And then we'll also be open Sunday, but only from 12 to 2. So remember to vote November 8th. But also, remember when you go vote that the people working the polls are your neighbors. I think 95% of our workers currently live in Allen Park. And regardless of what you may think, the people working the precinct on election day, they really don't want to hear your opinion on the issues or a candidate. They don't care. They are just there to make sure you can take that opinion and put it on a piece of paper and make it count. Okay, they do not want to, other people in that precinct also don't want to hear your opinion. So I just ask that everybody be respectful on election day. Do I expect it to be bad? No, elections are elections. So also, if you want to know if you're registered to vote, where you go vote, if your absentee got received in the clerk's office, how can you get one? Go to michigan.gov/vote. Okay, another way to get at it is mi.gov/vote. It's that easy, and that's for any information related to Michigan elections and the process, please only go to the state of Michigan. Now, a lot of people ask us, where do you find out stuff about the candidates? That's not my job as the election official, but one group I will back is the League of Women Voters. They put out voter guides every general election with all sides on it. So their quick website for election campaign information, vote411.org. So with that, I'd like to wish everybody a good night. God bless.
Thank you, Mike. Before I forget, which I'm apt to do, I want to remind everyone that the next council meeting will be on November the 15th and not on the 8th, because the 8th is Election Day. So we will be meeting on the 3rd and the 5th Tuesdays in November, rather than the regular 2nd and 4th. So November 15th is our next meeting. I'm not going to rehash everything. The pumpkin patch, we always focus on Monday, October 31st, which is when the disabled come in, but they start their festivities, I believe it was pointed out, on Friday, and they have things going on Saturday and as well as Sunday, and it's all going to a very good cause. So if you get a chance, go up there. I don't live too far away, so I get the entertainment coming down the street, so it works out well for me. Halloween, we celebrate on Monday. I know that some communities will designate Saturday, but we are observing it on Monday, so the trick-or-treaters will be out on Monday. I think we posted 5:30 to 8. I know that some people do get out earlier, so just be prepared and have your candy ready, because I know that a lot of people with younger kids like to come out early and generally stay open until I don't see any more stragglers or I've run out of candy. I was contacted by a group in Michigan called Protective Parents Michigan that asked me to announce that November is Family Court Awareness Month. Their goal is to increase awareness on the importance of the family court system, noting that most states do not have mandated domestic violence training requirements prior to a judicial officer presiding over family court cases. Their concern is that the lack of proper training in topics like domestic violence, child sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, trauma, etc., is very concerning, especially since it's conservatively estimated that 58,000 children a year are ordered into unsupervised contact with physically or sexually abusive parents, and hundreds of children have been murdered. In Michigan, 33 children have been murdered during divorce or custody battles since 2008. And I will say that it gets to be rather eye-opening when you have someone in your family who has begun working in the system and is being exposed to things that it would be fair to guess that I probably myself would not want to. And yet I'm looking at someone in her 20s who is having to experience and address things that most of us would not want to see in our lives. And I'm sure that some of our first responders have seen very similar things. So be observant if you're ever involved in these. Pay attention to things that are going on around you. It's also, if you look at the paper or any newscast, you can see that things occur daily. I mentioned this earlier in conjunction with the National Native American Heritage Month. The Daughters of the American Revolution advised this year in their letter that there are grants available for qualifying Native American projects and scholarships available to Native American students. Information can be found on their website, which is dar.org. We mentioned the Halloween trick-or-treating. I've probably forgotten something and we'll remember it shortly after we adjourn. But thank you all for coming. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, look out for your neighbors. And with that, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lally. Second by Mr. Valerius. Nobody wanted to go home. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We are adjourned at 6:54.